My name's Xavier Tobin, I'm 18 and I develop apps in my spare time.
My name's Harry Menzies, 18 years old, and I consider myself to be an amateur photographer.
I'm Camille Thomas, I'm 18 and I am a young artist studying fine art in my first year.
I've always been interested in technology, just from primary school and as a kid, because it was always interesting, it was always cool opening apart a computer and looking at it and trying to build it and fix it. In high school I started to actually do stuff at home and downloaded a few programs, Android Studio and a few others, and started making stuff.
I really got into photography when I bought my first camera from one of my teachers. Started taking it to events, parties mainly, and I just took a liking to it.
I'd always thought art was like something I'd do throughout high school, but I didn't like see it as my end goal. I used to want to be like a fashion designer or costume designer. And then like 2 years ago, I had this realization that it's what I wanted to do, and so I like knuckled down on that and just started like making art.
When I made my first app, my parents thought I was spending too much time on the computer, but when I eventually released it, it ended up doing really well. I think it had 80,000 downloads after a while, and so they were supportive after that, but it took them a while to get around to it.
When I first started out, I was more skeptical of myself. I thought that all my friends and stuff would care and be skeptical, but it turns out that they really didn't. People are sort of indifferent to it. They'll just say, yep, this guy takes photos at parties.
There is definitely a stigma around like wanting to be an artist, which sucks. I do think it's difficult to become an artist. It is incredibly competitive here, and the Melbourne art bubble is this very like tight-knit thing that is very hard to break into. And if you're just like sitting in your studio making work every day but not showing it to anyone and not talking about it to anyone, it's going to be really hard to break in.
The best advice would be to just, if you have an idea or you have a project or you have a thought or a hobby, is to just Google it and find out, because everything is online and everything you can find, whether it's in film, TV, programming, whatever, there's always an answer.
Just start, just use your phone, take some photos, look things up on YouTube, Google what makes good lighting, what makes good imaging, what makes good framing. It's just all about getting your knowledge right, and then just get a camera. It doesn't really matter if it's $10,000, it doesn't really matter if it's $200. It's not about the equipment, it's definitely how you use it, especially in photography.
Work hard and make what you love, because if you're making what you love, in the end people are going to feel that, and you're going to be making much better work, as opposed to if you were just making something because you thought other people would like what you were making.
Just give it a shot. If it doesn't work out, you've got time, especially if you're young.
I don't see myself as like a business. I more just want to provide good content. So like people might say, look, you're just an amateur photographer, why are you trying so hard? But I just believe that the better work you do, the more work you get.
I mean, fame is the ultimate goal for me. It sounds so vain. But if that doesn't happen, at least just be happy with who you are and what you're making.